Before you buy your first car or your next car, you need to be aware of one of the costliest mistakes that you can make at a dealership. We're talking thousands of dollars. That big mistake is not choosing the wrong vehicle, and it's not getting a high interest rate. It's buying a vehicle based on the affordability of a monthly payment. Does that sound a little counterintuitive? Well, you're going to want to hear this. When you first arrive at a dealership, the salesperson, if they're doing their job properly, is going to ask about your individual needs to help you identify the right model and trim of the vehicle that fits your life, and then take you on a test drive. You will then be presented with various payment options until they find the magic number that you're comfortable with. $500 a month, $800 a month, whatever it may be. But what they're not going to focus on is how that payment translates into a total out-the-door price for that vehicle, including freight, PDI, taxes, and yes, other dealer fees. Those extra fees can include administration, extended warranties, rust-proofing, wheel locks, premium floor mats, all of which you didn't ask for, but they're going to wrap it all up into a tidy monthly payment broken out over 60, 72, or, and this is where things get dicey, even 84 or 96 months. 96 months. That's 8 years. This is how people are buying cars these days, based solely on the affordability of a payment. And it's one of the biggest mistakes you can make. Now, I know you might be saying, Thomas, who in the world is buying a car without taking into account the total out-the-door cost for that purchase? Well, brace yourself. It happens all the time. During my 10 years marketing for automotive dealership groups, I've seen buyer after buyer financing over 7 or 8 year terms because they see an affordable payment that gets them into the car that they want. Many of those buyers are thinking that they'll trade in the vehicle long before it ever matters, so why worry? Well, you're about to find out. When you focus on a monthly payment rather than the total out-the-door cost of the vehicle, especially with a longer-term loan, there is a far greater chance that you will end up being upside down at some point in your ownership with that vehicle. What does upside down mean? It means that you will eventually owe more on that car than what it's worth in the market. Then, when the time comes that you want to sell it or trade it in, you will have to pay the difference. That debt is called negative equity, and it can amount to thousands of dollars. Just how far upside down any car owner becomes depends on factors like the amount of your initial down payment, the total term of the loan, and yes, the make and model of vehicle that you choose. Toyotas hold their value longer than Mitsubishis. Just remember, the affordability of your payment and the pace at which you pay off your car rarely match its value in the market at any given time. And sadly, I've also seen customer after customer then having to roll that debt from the vehicle they're trading in into the loan for their new car. It's insane, because the financial hole that you're digging just keeps getting deeper and deeper, and it happens all the time. Thinking only about the affordability of a monthly payment also makes it far easier for a salesperson to convince you that an extra $50 on a $600 monthly payment is no big deal. That's until you review each line item on the final bill of sale and realize that the extended warranty, that was an extra $3,000, and the rust proofing, that was an extra $1,500. Yeah, that happens. And the wheel locks that would otherwise cost $40 a Canadian Tire just got marked up to $150.
What you talking about, Mr. D?
Now, getting back to our example. Adding that $50 to your $600 monthly payment means that you'll be on the hook for another $4,200 over a 7-year term. And that's before we even factor in your interest rate. You see, the dealer, he's like a magician. He wants to keep your attention focused on just these 3 cards, because he's hoping that you'll see it as simple and safe. He needs you to ignore the impact of the rest of the deck. But the magician's trick only works if you're looking in the wrong place. Buying a car based on a monthly payment also makes it far more difficult to compare offers between dealerships when they may be structuring the financing in completely different ways. It can also allow the dealer to present you with an inflated value for your trade-in, while at the same time taking that money back with a higher markup on the vehicle you're trying to buy. Now, if you have fallen for the monthly payment sales trick in the past, Don't be too hard on yourself. Dealerships exploit the fact that our brains are naturally wired to budget our expenses based on monthly payments. That's how we think about rent. It's how we think about cell phones, about streaming services, and our household utilities. But now that you're clear as to why you should never buy a car based simply on what you can afford from month to month, what is the correct strategy? When a dealer gives you payments to consider, your first question should be, what will the total cost of the car be at that payment amount, including financing, taxes, and all other dealer add-ons and fees? That total cost is rarely brought up during negotiations, and usually only comes into focus when you're signing the final purchase agreement, at which point you may be so exhausted from the battle that you're happy to just put a bow on the whole deal and move on. But here's a simple check you want to do every time you're negotiating a vehicle purchase. Take out your handy-dandy smartphone and pull up the website for the manufacturer of that vehicle, Ford.ca, Mazda.ca, whatever, and go to their Build and Price tool. That tool includes a payment calculator that will allow you to see what the total cost of the vehicle would be at the manufacturer's suggested retail price, or MSRP. That is your baseline number. Now, enter your down payment, your trade-in value, the length of your finance term, all the information from the dealership, and most manufacturer websites will even allow you to add the expected dealer fees. You want to compare that manufacturer's total cost of the vehicle, not the payment, to the total cost being presented by the dealership. Did you really get a great deal? Worse yet, did the dealer try to hide an excessive markup on that vehicle and the cost of add-on products by spreading it across a longer finance term like 84 or 96 months? To summarize, when buying a car, you need to consider the cost of each of the following factors separately: the selling price of the vehicle itself, the value of your trade-in, the interest rate and finance term you're being offered, the cost of any dealer add-ons and fees, and how all of that impacts the total price that you will ultimately pay. You want to use this same strategy when you enter the finance office and you're presented with extended warranties and other add-on products. Stay focused on the individual cost of each item, not what it does to your monthly payment. Now, the finance office is a beast unto itself. That's why you want to visit Carzuka.ca. It's our community for car buyers. We have articles breaking down each step of your car buying journey. You can also join our Carzuka forums to ask a question or share your dealership experience, good or bad. We're just getting started there, so this is your chance to be one of our OG members. Best of all, it's completely free. Lastly, congratulations on the start of your car buying journey. We have several videos here on YouTube to help you prepare for your purchase, including how to handle one of the most stressful parts of the dealership process, that finance office. We'll link it in the description. Here at Carzuka, we are determined to make car buying fun again, and we're thrilled that you're coming along for the ride.